we're officially streaming.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay. And then this time, surprise, I'm gonna go. Oh no, I just fucked up. But I'm gonna go live on Twitch as well. Not Twitch, on TikTok.
Okay.
Not from our account because you can't go live unless you have at least 1,000 followers, and we don't have 1,000 followers yet. People,
But
can
you do
you follow
personally.
us, please? But I personally do, so I'm gonna go live from my personal account just to, you know, just so people know what's going on.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And then we plug the podcast, see if we can get people
Yeah,
to
plug it.
follow
Yeah,
our account. Great.
exactly. Look at us. Wubba Lubba PodPod. Did I tell you that when I went to Mexico City, I pasted like our Wubba Lubba PodPod stickers in like a bunch of places over there? Just random.
I remember you made the one video of putting one on like a railing at a park.
Yeah.
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 Um, there's a bar that I go to that's got a bunch of stickers, a bunch of our stickers all over it. So
Yeah?
yeah,
Fuck
that's
yeah.
that's the only place I've put any here in town. But I'm I'm honestly
Do you still have stickers?
I still have a bunch of stickers. I'm waiting for us to have a bit more of a backlog of
Yeah.
episodes. I wanna have at least
Yeah.
one season before I start putting them up other places.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
Oh God. Face. Oh no. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And we are a lot of burping. I've been drinking beer all day, so
Very nice. You know what? I'm not nearly drunk enough for this. I need
you need to catch up,
I need some
Josh.
fucking wine. It is fucking spoopy
Uh-oh.
season. I'm drinking some goddamn witch's brew. It's cheap garbage full of rat shit, and it's delicious. You know what?
Oh wow.
I'll
I
tell
wish I
you
could taste
what.
it.
Oh yeah. Well, if you've ever had a clove cigarette, mix it with some garbage red wine, and there you go.
Mm.
The bottle even
Oh wow.
recommends microwaving it. If you were to mix it,
Oh my God.
mix
Oh
it,
my.
yeah, classy shit. Mix it with some apple cider. You got yourself October in a glass. I probably should have washed this
Wow.
glass,
Are
but
you a wine boy?
not really.
Oh.
I try to be. Um,
No?
I try to be a lot
I
of
feel like you're
things.
always drinking wine.
Um, not always. Not always. I only drink beer at bars
At
anymore.
least here in Wubba Lubba PodPod. Okay.
One more
Okay.
time. What about Wubba Lubba Pod Pod?
No, that
At
like at
least
least
here.
here in Wubba Lubba
At
PodPod.
least, yeah. Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
on Buffy too. Beer with Buffy. I was trying to do that whole
Oh yeah.
wine bit for a while. The bad wine tasting with.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was me trying to
Yeah,
be a
I
wine
remember
boy.
that era. Oh my God.
But if you want to call me a wine boy, you know what?
Oh
I'm
my
not going to argue. Cheers. I'm the whiniest
God.
wine boy
Cheers.
there is.
Cheers.
Ding. Oh, that's Pusheen. You're welcome.
Oh my God, that's so cool. That's the cutest. I feel like our glasses are very similar, but mine is just like plain.
Oh yeah, yours is better. Mine is for a small child to get drunk, which you shouldn't do. That's not legal or moral.
Okay.
So yeah, welcome to Wubba Lubba Pod Pod. I'm Josh, and now I'm out of focus
I'm
for some
Alex.
reason. Yeah, You're
Okay.
Alex.
Oh yeah, my Wi-Fi has been not the best lately, so sorry.
Yeah, you got a little choppy there for a second.
My Wi-Fi has been not the best
Yeah, I heard you.
because of my Wi-Fi.
I thought you were talking about your wife for a second. I was like, that escalated quickly. Thought you were still looking for the ladies. Thought there weren't any ladies. I guarantee you there's some ladies there for you. They just don't know that you're there.
Oh.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Or
That's my problem. That's what I was gonna talk about with my therapist.
Oh.
I was gonna be like, hey, I think I'm very cool and attractive, but it seems like nobody else does. Like, nobody wants to like approach me or get to know me.
Preaching to the choir.
And like people forget about me. I don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, Josh is a catch. Let me tell you.
Damn right. Thank you. And you know what? I went to therapy today, so therefore, by proxy, Wubba Lubba PodPod can be your therapy for today.
Thank you, guys. Safe space.
Absolutely.
Safe space.
Yeah, let's get some positive comments today. Or, whenever we post this, which
Yay.
won't be today. Unless you're watching the live stream. You could be watching this right now with
or
a maximum 30-second delay. Or
or my TikTok.
Or your TikTok.
Like,
that's
there's
far more
21
likely,
people.
in fact. Hey, people are actually watching us today.
We're recording a podcast. It's called Wubba Lubba PodPod. Okay, TikTok. If I don't pay attention to you, it's just because I'm busy recording the podcast. But feel free to join. We're also live on Twitch. Wubba Lubba PodPod. Okay, thank you.
So are they just seeing a feed of you from your phone off to the side? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't plug in our OBS feed or anything. Well, that's disappointing.
No, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's all right. You could probably plug in the Zoom feed. Anyway, whatever, not important. So, yeah, welcome to Wubba Lubba PodPod.
What are we doing today?
Well, we're just gonna keep on being two casual nerds on a journey to become slightly less casual nerds about Rick and Morty. We're gonna do the Lord's work of watching all that pesky TV for all of you, so that you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you know how it gets really tedious and awful and just embarrassing to have to watch all of that TV and do it all by yourself all the time, and you're just like, I wish somebody could do that for me. Well, look no further.
And talk about it.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, we're going to do that. That's what we're going to do for you. We're going to do a scene-by-scene recap, a little bit of analysis, and maybe talk about some character tracking, some lore, fan theories, creator theories, etc., whatever we come up with. Did you get to do any research on that? I've got a little bit of stuff to talk about.
Oh.
Okay. So
I absolutely did not.
Cool.
But last time I carried that bit of the podcast, so it's your turn again.
You did. I've got some stuff. I think it'll be fine. But yeah, let's
cool.
dive dick first right into this, or some other more appropriate phrase for getting started.
Genital, whatever genital.
Yeah.
Whatever genital.
Let's
you
dive
have.
genital first.
Use it to dive in.
Straight into this.
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect.
Straight into those booby googlies.
Ooh, love that. Can you believe this is our 9th episode?
9th episode, and we're killing it. Oh, yeah.
We are so good at this. Can you tell? Can't you tell?
I can tell.
So good.
It's the chemistry, really. I failed chemistry. They were like, Josh, you don't need to be here. Your chemistry is far too strong.
Too much chemistry.
Too much chemistry.
Okay.
Just like in the Smith dining room, where Rick is building something. Morty needs help with a science project. Jerry wants to help because it's a father-son tradition. Rick calls him stupid, but Beth texts Morty. She says, your father is insecure about his intelligence, to convince Morty to let Jerry work on the project with him. And then Summer needs a ride to work. Rick makes it clear he'd rather be doing anything else. And also, Rick makes his new sentient butter-passing robot feel bad about his new existence as a butter-passing robot. Classic moments on Rick and Morty.
Exactly. Which, by the way, that butter robot is a big feature in our intro song.
Yes.
Which I love. I love our intro song, by the way. Shout outs to Benjamin Alexander.
Yeah, Benjamin Alexander. He did some of our music for Beer with Buffy, and he did some of my favorite music for Beer with Buffy. He's the best. We've been through three composers for that show, and he was by far the best. He was our first and the best. But he had other things to do. He could not be bought. What are you
maybe
gonna do?
One day.
That's okay.
With your help.
Our fourth composer is gonna be the best, I think, though. Because I work with them.
The charm.
And they're actually like a band that has successful albums and is gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, manifesting it right now.
But yeah.
Can I just say we forgot to say what we were talking about today. Today on Wubba Lubba Papa, we're talking about episode 9 of season 1. It's called Something Ricket This Way Comes.
Good catch.
Right?
Yes. Ricket. Something Ricked This Way Comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was prepared for you to ask me what the hell that's about. Were you gonna?
I am asking what the hell that's about. I mean, I know the phrase "something wicked this way comes."
Sure.
But I associate that phrase to Harry Potter because that's a Harry Potter song now.
Oh,
but I feel like there's something else about it.
There is something else about it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go any further than Wikipedia. Something Wicked This Way Comes is a novel written in 1962. It is a dark fantasy by Ray Bradbury. And if you recall, in the middle of this episode, actually pretty early on in the episode, Rick criticizes Mr. Needful for all of his blah, 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 Ray Bradbury shit in his shop. He makes a reference to Ray Bradbury directly, but Ray Bradbury wrote Something Wicked This Way Comes. I'm just reading straight from the Wikipedia now. It is about two 13-year-old best friends, Jim Nightshade and William Halloway, and their nightmarish experience with a traveling carnival that comes to their Midwestern home, Greentown, Illinois, on October 24th. In dealing with the creepy figures of this carnival, the boys learn how to combat fear. The carnival's leader is the mysterious Mr. Dark, who seemingly wields the power to grant the townspeople secret desires. In reality, Dark is a malevolent being who, like the carnival, lives off the life force of those they enslave. Mr. Dark's presence is countered by that of Will's father, Charles Halloway, the janitor of the town library, who harbors his own secret fear of growing older because he feels he is too old to be Will's dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah. I see the resemblance
it's very
to the
very
story
similar.
Here.
But I mean, this episode is, while heavily a reference to that, it's also heavily a reference to an episode of The Twilight Zone and The Myth of the Monkey's Paw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they mishmashed a bunch of shit. And the title of the book is taken from a line from Macbeth, Shakespeare's Macbeth. The line is, by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Oh.
Which is a line by the witches in Macbeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow.
Love it. I love it. I love the phrase. I love the references. I love it all.
Yeah, and it's one letter away from Ricked. It's perfect.
Exactly.
It's great. I like it a lot more than I used to because I didn't get the reference personally either before, and I didn't bother to know anything about it. That's why I'm doing a podcast. It forces me to do these deep dives and learn some shit rather than just consume an episode and then forget everything about it immediately, you know? Yeah.
Wonderful.
So, and
So we did the whole. Where are we?
yeah, I did the whole opening
Oh,
scene
okay.
with the butter passing robot. I think we can all agree that the butter passing robot is really most people's spirit animal.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I identified way too hard with
Yeah.
that
It's like, what is my
robot.
purpose?
That was my favorite thing for a
Yeah.
long time, but actually now it just makes me really sad. I'm like that poor robot. Fuck you, Rick.
Oh.
Why'd you have to
Yeah.
make him
What is
sentient?
my purpose? To pass butter, right?
Like, was it
Don't make
really
him. He's like,
easier
oh
to
my god,
create sentient life to bring you butter than to create a
butter.
robotic butter moving mechanism that doesn't care
Mm-hmm.
that it's a butter moving mechanism?
About
That's
its
so
existence.
shitty.
Yeah.
And that's actually a huge theme
I
that
know.
we're going to be dealing with today about Rick. And, does he care about Morty and Beth and Summer and even Jerry?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he just a complete psychopath or a sociopath, uncaring fuckface?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
think about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
next scene is
So
after
yeah,
the
after
opening
the robot.
sequence onto
Oh
the.
yeah, opening credits. Blah blah blah.
Did you want to take that?
Rick
Where?
ends up giving Summer a ride.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Rick ends up giving Summer a ride. Um, and he's like, "Since when do you have a job?" And she's like, you know, whatever. Oh, because right, this is after we have to remember. This is after the whole Summer finding out that she was a mistake or like an accident or whatever, that she wasn't really wanted by her parents,
Yep.
essentially. Um, okay. Hold on, because in my notes here, I see a side note that says that Rick's spaceship has two bumper stickers. One says Schlemies, the other one says Glorio 1868, like one of those like political stickers or whatever. Who the fuck is that? And then there's an atom or something. I don't know. But anyways, Summer explains to Rick that her boss is a really nice, eccentric old man who treats her nice and values her. Kind of like telling him essentially, like, unlike you, you
Unlike,
know?
yeah, heavy implication there. And
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how she
Uh,
responded to when she got a job. Did she specifically say?
oh, yeah. I didn't write it down.
Oh well, apparently not important because
I
neither
don't
of
know
us
what
wrote
she
it
said
down.
about that. Mm,
But yeah, it's
no.
pretty new, obviously, because he just opened up.
Uh,
Either
yeah,
way.
correct. It's a new job. And then, so Rick is like, oh, can't wait to meet this fascinating character. And Summer is like, please don't. And that's it for that scene. And then they cut to Cursed Item Store, which is
Mm-hmm.
not the plot hole emporium, but
Unfortunately,
it's giving that vibe.
a little bit. Yeah, there's Rick finds some plot holes. Definitely, he finds a plot hole in every item on sale today.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think isn't it called Needful Things? I think that's the name of the shop.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
Needful Things is the name of the show.
but we don't learn
Of the
that
shop.
right
Sorry.
away. First thing we see is we're inside, and Mr. Goldenfold steps in, an old regular. Morty's teacher, if you recall, comes into the shop, and there's a thin man with a
Yeah.
goatee and a suit and a top hat with a very slimy, slick demeanor. And this is Mr. Needful. We'll find out in a moment. And he informs Mr. Goldenfold that he's recently opened for business because Mr. Goldenfold's looking for the Jamba Juice. Is Jamba Juice a real thing or is that a made up title?
I don't know. I feel like I've heard about it, so now I don't know.
Hmm.
It feels like a 90s thing, but I don't know.
Right? Yeah, I've never heard of a Jamba Juice, but either way it works. Okay, he's looking for one of those juice shops. Fine. And he's like, no, I've recently opened for business, and hence why the storefront is no longer a Jamba Juice. And Mr. Goldenfold is painfully dumb and weirdly not suspicious at all that this guy knows his name the first time meeting him. Mr. Needful also knows that the Goldenfold longs for female company and gives him a little bottle of cologne that he doesn't have to pay for with money. And Goldenfold's like, nothing to read into there, and runs out the door. It's all very satirical of these kinds of movies, books, TV shows, whatever. Definitely referencing an episode of The Twilight Zone, I think. And then so Summer arrives with Rick, and she tries to very bluntly hint that Rick should fuck off. But he starts looking at all the things in the store, and Mr. Needful starts to play his little shtick on Rick. He's like, "What do you desire, Rick?" And Rick asks after looking at all of two things. He's like, "Are you the devil?" and he's like, very suspiciously guilty looking.
No.
And what? Yeah. And Rick explains his thought process. He's like, well, you got a bunch of weird shit. The store pops up out of nowhere. And Summer's like, Grandpa, go home and... Oh, wait, no, that's later. But Summer scolds him. She's like, get the fuck out of here. And he excuses himself by being, I'm a man of science, which gives Needful an idea. He's like, well, why don't you take this microscope? It will show you things beyond comprehension. Evil laughing duel stops suddenly with perfect comedic timing. Love it every time. And
that's when Summer says, Grandpa, go home and drink.
Yeah. Rick swipes the microscope and stomps off. And now we're back in...
cut to the Smith's living room.
Correct.
Smith's living room, yeah. So Jerry brought out a bunch of arts and crafts stuff. I love that, like, instead of, like, Crayola, it says colored wax sticks.
That's very tongue-in-cheek. Love it.
So essentially he's like trying to help Morty with his science project. He's intending to do the solar system, which is like the most basic science project you can
seriously.
make. That is either that or the volcano.
I said the exact same thing. Of course, Jerry would want to do the most cliche bullshit thing that you can do next to a baking soda and vinegar volcano.
Exactly.
Of course he would. That's you know what? I never
It's basic.
I never even saw a science fair project that did that in middle school or high school, but I did get a toy in a cereal box one time that was just a little plastic volcano, like not any bigger than this big around and this tall, and it had just a little hole in it where you could put a little tiny bit of baking soda in it and some vinegar. And my mom showed me how to do it once, and I was over it. I was like, "That's it? What the fuck? What the fuck are we doing? I don't get it."
Yeah.
So I was like, "There's."
I actually did do the volcano.
Nice.
On like second grade or something.
Okay.
I did the volcano and I also did the solar system. I remember.
Okay.
I did both.
I would have liked doing the solar system actually. But in my earth science class, he was telling us how those little models, the cliche little solar system models that people do aren't even nearly to scale. It's not possible to do one actually to scale. Like you can do a computer generated one to scale if you have like measurement references, but the example he gave us, he was like, so how everybody uses a ping pong ball for Pluto, just like Jerry wants to do,
right?
Well, that's fucking way too big. Way too big. You would need to use like just a little tiny, like a pencil eraser, but smaller. And then have somebody drive that across town, take that, a few miles away. And now you've got something that's vaguely to scale of just from Pluto to whatever comes before Pluto. I want to say Neptune.
I think it's Uranus.
Well, either way.
Anyways.
Wait, what is it? My mother just served us 9 nachos or something. Jerry says it later in the episode. But it's a...
Hold on. Es Mercurio, Venus, Tierra, Marte, Júpiter, Saturno, Urano, Neptuno y Plutón. So Neptune goes before Pluton. There's somebody behind you.
Yeah, I know.
It's creepy as fuck.
Hey, we're live. Okay. Yeah. We'll
Okay, no worries. Thanks for feeding the cats.
So it was definitely Neptune and not Uranus, unfortunately. That's too bad.
No.
That's really where the joke was.
Yeah.
I'll check my butthole anyway. Oh my god.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that that video by Tom Cardy, Have You Checked Your Butthole? It's a song that he wrote because it's hilarious.
No.
I'm going to send you a link to it later, and we're going to bump it with this episode because it's great. I'm not even going to try to do it justice right now, but it's a song about checking your butthole. That's all you get to know.
I'm so intrigued.
You should be.
So anyways, back to the scene and out of your butthole. When Jerry suggests they use a ping pong ball for Pluto, Morty explains that Pluto isn't a planet anymore. When did that happen? I remember that happening, but I feel like it was recent, but I feel like it really wasn't recent. Was it 2009?
I want to say it was in the aughts, definitely. I'm Googling it right now. Google 2006.
2006.
Okay. But it gets reinstated as a dwarf planet in 2022, I think.
Oh shit, that's right. Damn, Pluto.
Yeah, so this
the drama.
So this episode was on point in 2013 when it came out. When did Pluto get reinstated as a planet? They downgraded the status of Pluto to that of a dwarf planet, but it doesn't give me a year right off. But I'm pretty sure it was 2021 or 2022. I was gonna weave that into us talking about the episode, but it came up organically, so here we are. Yeah. What were we talking about?
It was changed into any. So Morty actually Googles it and shows it to Jerry.
Right. Yeah, Morty does exactly what we just did. He types it into Google.
Yeah, literally.
Nope, it's 2006. Yeah, it's not a planet.
Yeah. But Jerry pretends he heard about that. He's like, "Oh yeah, totally. I totally knew about that." He didn't. But he just states that he disagrees, and it's giving a lot of Trump, science is fake vibes. So he disagrees with science.
His opinion's more important than facts. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it's possible to disagree with science. Okay. And then Jerry accuses Morty of going over him to Rick to check the planet thing. Oh yeah, because Morty's like, okay.
He needs to go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, and he's like, are you going to Rick to blah blah blah? And he's like, no, calm down. I just want to go pee. And my cat's food is coming out. Oh, thinking. Can we pause so I can go for another beer?
Sure. I mean, I'm not actually going to pause anything, but we can just have a gap that gets edited out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just entertain the audience.
Great.
You're back. I'm back.
Good.
Okay.
Good. I think I was sufficiently entertaining while you were gone. I
can't wait
made
to see what you said.
very strong eye contact with the camera while I poured some wine and then drank some wine. I gave him a close up of poutine.
That's entertainment.
Yeah. I didn't say a damn thing though.
Good. Okay. That's what you want in a podcast. Anyway.
Exactly. That's all right. Welcome back. The podcast can resume. I still need to come up with a pause page for a don't mind us, we're peeing
we
or
keep
something.
forgetting.
Yeah. Not on each other yet.
Well,
or ever. Or ever. I'm
please,
not into
I am
water
not
sports.
into that.
I'm not into water sports. I assume you're not. But I just like to have options.
yeah. Let's just not, let's not be close-minded.
Exactly. Thank you.
How can you know that you don't like it if you haven't tried it?
If you haven't tried it, that's right. See?
So.
YOLO! Jesus. I fucking hate YOLO.
It's 2023. Don't say YOLO.
It's 2023.
By 2023, I don't think YOLO applies anymore. I don't think.
If you haven't tried gay sex with your dad yet, what are you even doing? What are you?
What are you?
That's a Rick and Morty reference. Okay, the fucking.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It's way seasons ahead of where we're at, but it's the probably the worst joke they ever make is when there's like Rick and Summer are running around partying and they're going to planets that are about to die because their suns are going supernova, and there's these two aliens and you hear the voices off in the background. One dude's like, "I'm having gay sex with my dad and it's great." And I'm just like, oh my God. And then the tag of the episode is the planet doesn't explode and the son walks into their bread shop and they're bakers apparently. And the kid's like, "Is mom talking to you? Or have you seen mom today?" And the dad's like, "Nope." The kid's like, "Is it because we had sex?" "Yup."
No.
It's so fucking terrible. So I'm sorry that I spent the last 2 minutes describing that. I am really sorry. But if you're watching Rick and Morty,
I forgive you, I guess.
then you're fucking, you know it anyway.
You know what's up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Jerry.
So please,
Jerry's an idiot.
you go. Cut to the garage, please. Tell us.
Please, God, cut to the garage. Oh, God. Why aren't we cutting to the garage? So Morty gets up to go to the bathroom, or that's what he tells Jerry anyway, but he goes to the garage first for whatever reason. Rick is immersed in testing this shitty microscope that Mr. Needful gave him, and Rick turns and asks Morty if evil exists, and if so, can you measure it? But don't answer that because it's a rhetorical question, Morty, because the answer is yes, you just have to be a genius. And he finds that the microscope would have made him retarded, that's a direct quote, if he'd used it. He and Morty have a micro argument about no pun intended, a small, short argument about the politically correct evolution of that word. And this show came out in 2013, which was probably the tail end of really being able to get away with that kind of a joke.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. And so Morty's like, "Well, gosh, Rick, I think it's just it's a symbolic issue for powerful groups that feel like they're doing the right thing." Rick responds with, "Well, that's retarded."
What?
So that's that.
Okay.
I mean, if you're in the school of people that says comedy should have no boundaries, I still think this is right on the fence of being poignant enough to be funny. Because what Morty's line isn't wrong, but it's Rick's argument is
Yeah.
that he's not disparaging the differently abled. That doesn't make it not ableist. It has been commandeered as an ableist
Correct.
word, so just don't use it. You're a dick
Yeah.
if you do. Unless it's a direct quote talking
Correct.
about this episode of Rick and Morty. Right?
Correct.
Right?
Right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was worried.
Sure.
I was worried
Yeah.
for a second. All right. So Jerry barges in, and but he comes in through the overhead door, so he lifts it up, and he spills his insecurity everywhere, accusing Morty of asking Rick if Pluto's a planet, which Morty did not, but Rick quickly confirms, however, it is not a planet. And Jerry makes the stupidest argument ever, that it can be a planet, that if it can be a planet before, then it can be a planet again. And he punctuates that with planet, 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 because obviously, much like religious figures and what do you call them? Fucking evangelists.
Religious fanatic.
Televangelists. Yeah, if you say something more than
right.
once, it must be true.
It makes it true.
It makes it true.
Must be true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's try that theory right now. Wubba Lubba PodPod is the #1 podcast in the world.
Wubba Lubba PodPod
PodPod is the #1 podcast.
is the #1 podcast
in the world.
In the world.
And that's just science. That's just a fact.
That's just science.
Must be true.
Stay scientific.
Stay scientific,
Yeah.
Jerry.
Alex.
So cut to
I blanked on your name for a second. I'm so sorry. 9 episodes.
dude.
We've been trying to record this for a month.
If 9, I know. What the fuck? What's wrong with us?
Don't get me
If
started.
I didn't have my name Alex, what? I was gonna ask that if you didn't know that my name was Alex, what does my face say to you?
Huh. Oh, that's a trick question. I'm terrible with names for starters. Let's go with Moira. I don't know. No, not Moira. Nobody's Moira. It's
Please.
not even people born in the 1890s who were named Moira are Moira.
Where did that name come from?
I don't even know. Dusty. Let's go with Dusty. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Dusty.
Yeah.
That is it because I look like a boy right now? Like a 12-year-old boy? Okay, can I show you my full outfit?
You don't look like a 12-year-old boy. I was going for some slightly more androgynous name. Uh-oh, we're getting a show here. No, you look more like a 15-year-old boy.
And I have my backwards hat.
To be fair.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thanks.
No, I wanted to go with something a little
Right.
more androgynous, but
Okay,
actually
yeah.
Dusty is the name of one of the Fortnite characters that I like to play as.
Okay, well,
But she's-
your mind is still on Fortnite. And
A little bit.
oh, she's a she?
She,
Dusty is a she? in
Dusty's a
Fortnite?
she. Dusty's a she in Fortnite, yeah. But she's got some butch vibes.
Okay.
Super butch vibes.
Nice. Okay, great. I love that.
There you go.
I love butch stuff.
Yeah, did you think I was just picking a guy's
So, anyways,
name?
back to the podcast. No, I don't know why Dusty. Oh, I was thinking of Dustin from Stranger Things.
Right,
like-
yeah.
I just went there.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin, I guess. Okay.
No, but every season of Fortnite, there's always one butch lady. The one from this season is Piper. So
Piper.
you'd make an okay Piper too, but that reminds me a little more of what's that show called?
Charmed.
Charmed. Thank you.
Charmed.
Thank you. I was not going to be able to think of
You're
that
welcome.
quickly.
Okay, wait. Before we move on, can I tell you something? I made an accomplishment,
Oh,
and I think you're gonna appreciate my accomplishment.
I already do.
I for the first time managed to watch the entire Supernatural show from season 1 to season, I think, 15.
15. Oh, shit. You watched
14?
all 15
All the seasons.
seasons. Damn. That is an accomplishment.
Yeah, like I did it until the end.
Mostly because...
Exactly. I could never do this before. I tried this before and I couldn't. And now I finally did it. I got to the end. Carry on, my wayward son. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I cried. Dude, I cried the last episode. I didn't expect that. Because I'm like, I've seen Dean die so many times.
So many times.
Already.
Too many times.
So
And Sam. They
too
both
many
die
times.
so many times. Who cares?
And yeah, both of them. But like, you know, so at the end of the episode, or I'm sorry, the last episode, I was like, I'm not gonna cry, and then I was bawling. I was like, all right, fuck.
I mean, that show got rough from basically season 12 on, and it wasn't as good.
Yeah. No.
From season 5 through 12. I would say 7 is where it started to be a really noticeable drop off. But objectively, seasons 12 through 15 were mostly garbage.
Just garbage. Like literally, I was
junk.
Suffering getting through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was watching it.
But hey, you know what? Sorry.
I was going to say I was watching it as it aired, but I wasn't. I was watching it during COVID. Sorry. So I think we have a lot of lag, so we keep accidentally talking over each other.
Sorry, people. But yeah, COVID is a good time to watch that. But yeah, what got me through it was just literally Sam and Dean's beautiful faces. Like I was watching garbage and I'm like, you're so pretty. This is the only reason why I can still watch this.
Oh, come on. You were shipping them and you know it.
Oh, of course. Oh, I love my favorite episodes are the meta episodes. They get so meta.
Some of them
with like the episode about the books and the episode about the show, and like they have a couple of
the High School Musical episode of Supernatural was the height,
the musical,
the height of meta.
Yeah. In
general.
Yeah.
I think that episode did me in. That was just the best.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So but yeah, I did that and I'm proud. And I am currently wearing a
very nice
shirt. This is Sam and Dean and
nerd.
So nerdy. Look at me.
I mean, so am I. But I think we've gone far enough off the rails. We should probably bring it back onto Rick and Morty here.
Let's get back into Rick and Morty.
Back to Rick and Morty.
So, cut to Needful Things. Right?
Yep. Yeah. Stay scientific, Jerry. Needful Things. You taking this one?
Mr. Yeah, I'll do it. So Mr. Goldenfold is dissatisfied with the cologne because it made him. So the cologne that he got earlier was supposed to make him like, what's it called? Irresistible to women. Yeah. Which it did, but it also, which it did, but it also made him impotent. So.
Sad day.
His dick is flaccid as fuck.
Flaccid as fuck.
So, anyways, as fuck.
As not
the
fuck.
The devil is like a prize for everything. Oh.
It's flaccid as. Damn. What's the word? Flaccid as celibacy.
Exactly.
Because he ain't fucking nothing.
Damn.
That man does not fuck. I mean, he wasn't fucking before either, but.
Nope.
Yeah, there's a price for everything, Mr. Goldenfold. I just wanted to say, did you see? So there were 3 women standing there just waiting to fuck him, but couldn't. So, now they just have to follow him around forever. Did you see the one woman's heels? I think she was the one all the way to the right. I get it. They're cartoon characters, but her feet were like her toes were flat, but then her heel was like completely fucking vertical. It was like a 90-degree angle. Yeah. I mean, it's a cartoon though. Whatever. It was, but I thought it looked funny.
That's a cartoon heel, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I think that exists in real life. Like, not gonna lie.
So, yeah, there are some that
Heels
get
are
pretty
brutal,
ridiculous.
Just saying.
I never understand why women subject themselves to them at all. Well, it makes me look taller, and it makes men more interested in me. And I'm like, does it? Does it really?
Dude, it's not that it doesn't make them look taller. It's about the butt. It's all about the butt. Yeah. With the heels, it's like your butt is everything. Which is fine and all, but the pain is not worth it for me. Right. I could never do the heels. Like I anytime that I was out and about with heels, I took them off the moment I could, and I just like carried it in my hand, and I was barefoot. Probably like almost cut my feet with glass at some nightclub.
Oh right.
But
yeah, no, they're terrible for you. They're terrible for your feet and everything. Just don't do it. Why?
Oh yeah.
Stop. Yeah. Even if you just like trip and hurt yourself.
Here in
Wubba
Lubba PodPod, we are anti-heels.
Yeah, we're taking that stance hard. We're gonna
We're dying on this heel.
We're gonna raise a campaign. We're gonna raise awareness. No more heels. I don't care.
Burn the heels.
Unless you want to wear them, in which case that's totally fine.
Please feel free.
So Rick runs in and he gives Mr. Goldenfold an injection. While he's there on his knees and he's like, my greed, my lust, no. And Rick gives him an injection that fixes him. It's like, here we go. This should have you up and running in no time. And then he runs out the door shouting, I haven't learned a thing.
Yeah. Oh, that guy.
And Rick gives the microscope back to Mr. Needful, explaining that he used it to create a scanner that detects and catalogs all of his direct quote here, all of his Ray Bradbury Friday the 13th voodoo magic crap, which I've never actually seen Friday the 13th. I don't know if that actually has anything to do with this. I know I'm a bad person. It's we'll just get that out of the way right here, right now. For all of you just listening, you did not see Alex's face just now, but I am obviously a bad person because I've never seen Friday the 13th.
Listen, Josh, we are in today is September the 21st. Basically Halloween.
Yep.
Okay? So you need to watch these movies.
Here's my Christmas promise to you. I'm sorry. My Nightmare Before Christmas promise to you. I will watch Friday the 13th this year.
Please, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Watch Friday the 13th. Anybody who hasn't watched Friday the 13th, you better watch it.
Do it.
By this Halloween. If not, you will answer to me and these guns.
So,
these guns.
Are your TikTokers just listening to you have a one-sided conversation like you're on the phone? They
are, and I don't know why they're still here. Thank you for the likes. Isaiah, I see you. Thank you for the likes.
That's funny. Those are good fans. You've got good fans. I'm happy to be a part of this.
You guys are good fans. That's what my co-host just said. Okay.
And that I'm happy to be a part of this. I want them to know that.
Oh, he's happy to be a part of this. Okay.
So Rick gives Mr. Needful the microscope, explaining he used it to create a scanner, catalogs all his Ray Bradbury Friday the 13th voodoo magic crap, and he goes around pointing out to customers what all the shit will do to them, making them flee the store without taking anything. There was beauty cream that makes you blind, a mink stole that will be wearing you in 3 hours. And I have a quote of the day here. We're bringing in quotes of the day. We gotta.
Okay.
Mr. Needful says, I find this all quite preposterous. Rick responds, "Oh, I say, good sir, harumph a baba baba doba do do do." And Needful's like, "Do I need to call the police? Here, you can use my phone. Don't worry, it won't make you deaf because I'm not a hack." And he slaps the phone out of Rick's hand, and they get into a little boy slappy pushy fight. And it's one of the funniest moments on television since Top Hat Jones, the leprechaun.
Correct.
Just the part where he's like, "Don't worry, it won't make you deaf. It won't make you deaf because I'm not a hack." That line, for some reason, isn't as funny to me now, but when I watch it on the show, it gets me every time. It's just fucking hilarious.
I know. It's just like Rick is ruthless, and I love it.
Yeah. He's right too, though. I mean, this is evil shit. Like, don't be evil. Yeah. At least Rick has that going for him.
We're dealing with the devil here.
Yeah,
so.
seriously. So Summer breaks up the fight, and she's not bothered that she wants to work for the devil because at least he's active in the community. I find her argument flawed, but at least she's coming from somewhere and is explaining it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And she resents Rick because all he does is eat their food and make gadgets. I'm like, I mean, you're not paying for the food, Summer, but okay, that's a weird thing to begrudge a man. And also making gadgets seems pretty productive to me. And he's always belligerent about it when they ask him to make gadgets for them. So I'm giving Summer full points on being mad about that.
Yeah. Summer, just this whole episode, Summer is just like not afraid at all to call out Rick or anybody.
Yeah, she's great about that.
Actually, she's just like, I don't give a fuck.
Morty tries to, but Summer is way better at it.
Yeah, Summer is way better.
She's obviously got
out Rick.
She's got
at least at this point.
Yeah, she's got Beth's strength and intelligence, definitely.
A little Beth sprinkle there in the genetics.
Mm-hmm. So
something falls, and she's like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Needful. I'll clean that up. I don't know what I can do about the ghost lady that came out of it, but."
Well, Rick
knocks the ghost lady that comes out of it.
I know, right? Rick knocked that over on purpose as he leaves, and goes, "Oops."
Oh yeah. That's good.
And Mr. Needful's
what a fucking child. Rick really. He's very childish.
He is
in this
such
episode.
a child. He's a huge child. And Mr. Needful is confused that Summer doesn't mind that he's evil. And she argues that, hey, fast food gives people diabetes, clothing stores use slave labor, anyone hiring teenagers is evil. It's her first job and he's nice to her. And you know what? She's got a fucking point.
Yeah. And then he's like, you've been nice to me, you respect me. And then Mr. Needful is like, please call me the devil. And then there's like a pause.
I'd rather not.
And then she's like, I'd rather not. He's like, yeah, perhaps not during business hours.
Yeah, genius awkward moment. They're good at that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of golden moments in this episode.
And then cut to
Smith's living room.
Good little moments in this episode. Jerry wants to sue NASA.
Sue NASA, yeah, with no money.
How do you go about suing NASA?
I mean, the court fees alone, but also he's got no case. Jerry's just a fucking moron. He's on the phone with NASA demanding that they reclassify Pluto as a planet, or else his son will fail his science class, and that's his case that he's going to sue them for.
Right.
I had a quote of the day here. Well, I think I know what the A in NASA stands for. Jerry's cleverer than he lets on, really. He comes up with some good zingers, honestly, sometimes.
Yeah, he has some good quips coming out of him. But Jerry says science isn't always easy, Morty. And then the aliens abduct them. The Plutonians, right?
Yep, the Plutonians. Because Morty just wants to make the model with 8 planets because it's easier. Jerry compares this to... That'd be like burning Galileo at the stake because he said the sun is round. And that's really inaccurate. Thanks, Jerry. But that's the joke, because Jerry's stupid. Yeah, and then everything starts levitating and rumbling, and they get beamed up into a flying saucer and flown off to Pluto, where King Flippy Nips praises Jerry's conviction that Pluto is a planet. And he lets Jerry announce to the whole population that Pluto's a planet, and Morty correctly worries that this will really go to Jerry's head. I had it written down what Galileo actually said, and it was not that the sun is round. Actually, that's what it was. I'd probably just have it later in my notes, but he said that Earth is not the center of the universe. The sun is the center of the solar system. Okay. Yeah. And a few other things, but mainly that the sun is the center of the solar system, not the Earth.
How did Galileo know this back then?
Just by observing the stars.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know exactly, but
maybe he was
charting the stars and their movements, and he just put two and two together, I guess.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been a fascinating time to be alive. Thinking that everything is haunted and not having explanations for anything. Like the 90s.
Yeah. Like the 90s.
Would have been just like the 90s.
Speaking of the 90s, NSYNC is back. NSYNC is back.
NSYNC
is back.
Did they ever go away?
It's back.
I never stopped listening to them personally.
Yeah.
No.
Josh wakes up to an NSYNC song every day.
That's right. I can't name a single one of them, but they're the soundtrack to my life.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably recognize one or two of their songs anyway.
Okay, Bye Bye Bye, and It's Gonna Be Me, right?
Oh yeah. Bye Bye Bye, definitely. Can't think of how the other one goes off the top of my head.
It's gonna be me. All that I do.
Nope, got nothing.
It's not enough for you. Okay. We'll go back.
I'm glad you're excited though. Happy for you.
Dude, it's like I was an NSYNC girly, okay? 90s is very important to me. And during that time, it was a debate between NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, and I chose NSYNC, particularly Justin Timberlake. So the fact that he agreed to come back and like do shit together again 25 years later, just kill me now. I'm good. I'm ready to go.
The 20-year marker, everybody's bringing shit back 20 years later. What else is it they're bringing back? I mean, other than
Layers.
Oh yeah, fucking Buffy's doing a goddamn Audible comeback.
Audible thing.
That 70s show is now
with
doing
like the original cast or something.
Yeah, exactly.
The 90s show.
That 90s show with a bunch of the original cast minus Danny Masterson. Oopsie.
Yeah.
Wow, that fucking guy. I can't even believe all that. I'm not even going to go into that.
Ew. No.
Yeah. But anyway, so
but the 90s are fully back, and Morty knows this is gonna go to his head. Oh, okay. Cut to Needful Things again.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Mr. Vagina comes in and
Principal Vagina.
And he takes a basketball without even hearing what it'll do for him, and he runs out excitedly. Mr. Needful starts to muse that in spite of Rick's outburst, this is the most successful weekend he's had since Salem. And they make small talk, him and Summer, for a moment about going to lunch, which I thought was a hilarious little sidebar moment. Not really funny, haha, but still funny, amusing, because it made it feel much more like a casual retail job than a haunted parlor, and that's just good satire. So I really enjoyed that. But so a lady comes in, scooping up a bunch of shit and not talking to Mr. Needful. And when he tells her to slow down, she worries. She's like, "Oh, is there a limit?" And Summer takes a whack at doing the creepy clerk routine. She's like, "Let's just say you don't pay with money."
Money.
And she does the evil scheming hands gesture and everything, and the maniacal laugh. But Mrs. Tate, he knows her because he knows everyone's name. Mrs. Tate is way ahead of them.
Right.
You pay with the curses, right? And Mr. Needful's very confused why she knowingly wants cursed items. And she explains that the guy on TV will have them removed. They turn around and they see Rick's cheesy local television ad. And he's talking about removing the curse on some shoes that make you run faster and a doll that threatens to murder your family, but now it does your taxes. And Rick says the address, which prompts Mr. Needful to look out the window, where he sees Rick right across the street, flipping him off, with a line of people waiting to get into his store, and of course, one of those big, wacky, waving, inflatable, flailing arm tube man things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Thank you for the reenactment as I do that.
You're
Alex.
welcome.
That's very important. Actually. No sarcasm. None. I'm never sarcastic. Never. Not once.
Never. Never.
So, and at that very moment, a mob bursts into the shop and starts taking all the shit Mr. Needful and Summer are hawking, and they are unamused.
Yeah. So then cut to, meanwhile, on Pluto, there's this morning talk show thing, Good Morning Pluto. And they have Jerry as a guest, and he's just telling everybody again that Pluto is a planet. And everybody's like, yay. Scroopy Noopers, scientist, though.
Yeah, before we go to Scroopy Noopers, who did you think that talk show host looked like?
I don't.
Because at first I thought he looked like David Letterman, but I think the guy that they're lampooning with that character is damn, I can't think of his name, but he used to host Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Now I have to look it up. Damn.
Look it up, please.
Yeah. Who Wants to Be
Bob Barker.
No, the host.
Is it him? No.
Regis Philbin.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Regis Philbin?
I don't know him.
Okay. Well, I think that's who
Nope.
it's supposed to be.
Maybe if I see his face, but I don't know. Okay, I'll believe you.
Okay. Not important. Moving along. You were about to say things about Scroopy Noopers. Far more important.
Right. So Scroopy Noopers, Scroopy Noopers is a scientist that wants to show Morty something. He's like, hey, come here. Well, the show's going on. He's like, hey, Morty, come here. I want to show you something. So
I don't wanna.
He takes Morty to the plutonium mines.
Uh-huh.
And turns out that the more they mine, the more Pluto shrinks. So that's why apparently Pluto downgraded from planet to not a planet. Because they're taking the plutonium or whatever.
Yeah, they have to
mining
power
it or
everything
whatever.
from diamond cars to golden showers. Golden showers. Did you catch that one? See, they're into water sports. They know what's
Yeah.
up. Seems a bit cold out there for that, but okay.
Oh no.
And the rich people won't wake up and knock it off. If they don't stop, the planet's going to shrink to nothing. And he blows some plutonium dust into the air to make his point, prompting Morty to guess that a party will happen rather than, the death of literally everyone on the planet.
Yeah.
Quote of the day, Scroopy Noopers is like,
So,
is everyone in your family an idiot? Well, me and my dad, for sure.
For sure. All he has to do to get him to admit that, and he could save 4 billion lives if he gets if Morty, billion. If Morty helps get Jerry to admit that he's not a planet, that Pluto is not a planet, then they could save 4 billion lives. But Morty's like, the thing is, my dad's really insecure, so I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah,
And
this
then
is all.
they cut to an empty.
I was going to say this is all
Yeah.
some pretty good sociopolitical commentary, actually, because that's kind of exactly what's happening to Earth in a very metaphorical sense. Obviously, we're not shrinking the size of our planet, but rich people are destroying the planet very quickly.
Correct.
And if they don't fucking knock it off, we're fucked.
Yeah, that's kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. And using very Jerry-like logic about it.
Yeah.
Like, science doesn't exist.
Damn.
My opinion's just as legitimate as science. Fucking we're so fucked.
And
God, fucking Rick. So, yeah, back in Needful Things.
So they cut to an empty Needful Things store. Yeah, it's empty though. It's all gone. And Summer is sadly sweeping, and while she's sweeping, she finds a monkey paw.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I did that. And when
that's
she goes to
that's
tell
the
Mr.
noise
Needful,
monkeys make. Didn't you know?
No.
Now you know.
They make more of a noise.
That was really good. I'm not even going to try and I'm not going to join in on that. I'm going to leave the monkey noises to you.
Thank you.
That was very, very well done.
Thank you. We are descendant from them, so.
Right? Yeah. You're not wrong. But then again, birds can mimic people perfectly, and they're nowhere near our genetic line.
Dude, so I've been like working this past few days doing production, shooting some content at my boss's house. He's kind of rich, so he has a huge house, and he has like a bunch of pets, and one of the pets, it's a parrot. He has a parrot called Guapo, which means handsome in Spanish.
Oh, guapo, yeah.
And Guapo, yeah. And
am I pronouncing the G too
talks,
hard,
bro? Say it again.
I said, am I pronouncing the G too hard? I always thought it was guapo.
No, it's good. Yeah, guapo.
Okay.
Guapo. What am I saying? Okay.
It sounds to me like you're just saying guapo.
I guess.
I'm not hearing the G when you say it, but okay, it's fine. So parrot.
Okay. So parrot. So he says, he's like, you walk by it and he speaks to you and he's like, hola guapo. Because people say hola guapo, and he's like hola guapo.
Hola guapo.
And then I put my finger in and he like bites it. And then he puts his claw along my finger, and then he starts like doing the dude, birds are like intelligent. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
But like he's kind of smart.
And they're adorable. Yeah. Have you ever seen the videos of the crows that are sledding on like a jar lid on a rooftop? Like they jump on the lid.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they jump on a lid, they slide down, they pick it up, go back to the top of the roof, slide back down again. There's videos.
Oh my
Look
God.
it up.
I'm gonna look it up. That sounds amazing. Oh wow.
They're just doing it for fun.
Birds are cool.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
And so where are we at? Monkey's Paw.
Monkey's Paw. So Summer goes to tell Mr. Needful that she's about the monkey paw, but she stumbles upon him hanging from the ceiling. So he's basically in the middle of like trying to kill himself, and she uses the monkey paw to wish her way into saving him, essentially.
Yep.
She's like, oh no, like she can't get the rope off, so she's like, oh, I wish this rope was looser, and like, oh, I wish this blah blah blah, whatever. She gets him down.
Desk was lighter, knowing CPR.
And exactly. So she saves his life. Summer, let me say that again. Summer saves the devil's life.
The devil's life.
Okay. The devil's life. Okay. Don't forget. And turns out the devil is sad because Rick is making him obsolete.
I don't understand why the devil is mortal, but okay.
Right?
Or maybe he he came back as a mortal. That's how he's walking the earth. And to get back to hell, he just has to commit suicide. I think that's where they were going with that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
that makes sense to me.
just wanted to mention real quick that Monkey's Paw that's a reference to an old English short story that is called Monkey's Paw, or The Monkey's Paw, which is about a cursed item that grants 3 wishes.
Okay.
And I think that's where we get the main concept of this episode is it grants wishes, but each one of those wishes is kind of exploitative. You know, that's where we get the idea that, beauty cream, but it makes you blind. There's always some grand irony to the wish. Like, for instance, wishing that the rope was looser would have, it makes the rope looser, but then he falls and he cracks his skull or something. I wish I knew CPR. Okay, now you know CPR, but you forgot your mother's face. Something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. That monkey paw.
Yep, it'll get you. That's how they get you.
It'll get you. So the devil then says, I mean, seriously, I may be the devil, but your grandpa is the devil.
The devil. I love the way he says it.
The devil, like in cursive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he just wants to go back to hell where everyone thinks he's smart and funny. And Summer says that it's unfair. Everyone in town got something from him, including Rick. But what about her? So the devil asks her what she wants, and Summer says, I want to help you. Why is Summer so obsessed with this man?
Yeah, because she's never experienced anyone being nice to her without seeming to really want anything in return, or just in general. And she's so caught up in that she's willing to do anything for this man, and that's a little bit sad. But also kind of cute. Like, hey, she's not completely jaded yet. It feels kind of like the innocence of youth to me.
Yeah, not completely jaded. Jaded. God damn it. Jaded. Yeah. English sucks. Cut to Curse Purge Plus.
Curse Purge Plus. Come get your fake purges or real purges. I don't know. She gives Rick the rest of their stock from the store when Rick makes a big deal out of winning. She makes it a point to shame him for that. He backtracks by saying, no, that's what the devil wanted. He's the one that needed to win. I just get my rocks off by being a troll, basically. I didn't get any direct quotes here. Go watch the episode if you want direct quotes. So he's very entertained by the fact that Mr. Needful tried to commit suicide. But Summer thinks Mr. Needful is strong and he won't give up, to which Rick thinks it's somehow virtuous that he doesn't give a shit. Makes it very clear, well, I just don't fucking care. And Summer really grinds it in that, everyone knows that you don't care, Grandpa.
You don't care.
And she leaves.
So?
And after 2 seconds...
So have fun not caring.
Yeah, I will. It's the best. So, and then about 2 seconds later of having to pointlessly go about the routine of owning a business and doing things for your employees and customers, Rick gets bored and burns it all to the ground, literally in a heartbeat. And I think this is good evidence that Rick is absolutely not the good guy. Not that I think anybody was really arguing that Rick is the good guy, but I know there's somebody out there that needs to hear that. Rick is not the good guy. No matter how much he wins, quote unquote, no matter how much he pwns motherfuckers, that does not make him the good guy. And he's not to be revered. He is toxic, but his complexity I will say this: his complexity makes for a relatable three-dimensional character who is flawed. He's got a lot of room for character growth, but this is exactly the shit that makes people hate fans of this show, and by proxy, hate this show. When people run around emulating Rick or other similar characters like Dr. House from House, who think that it's a demonstration that it's okay to be a huge fucking dick as long as you're the smartest person in the room. And there's just so many problems with that. For starters, nobody is always the smartest person in the room in real life. Least of all, these kinds of Rick and Morty fans.
Yeah.
I mean, these are fictional characters that are written carefully by a team of writers over a span of time. But it's so easy to get caught up in the illusion that they've created and go, ooh, I want to be like that. And then run around like a 5-year-old wearing a cape, saying, ooh, I'm Rick because I'm a huge asshole. And that's why several McDonald's got fucking trampled because they ran out of Szechuan sauce.
No.
Don't be those guys, please.
Don't be them.
But also,
Don't
it's
do that.
okay to like the show.
Yeah.
That really is my mission of this podcast, is to bang that point home, that the show has problems, but that doesn't make it a bad show. It's a very good show.
Yeah.
It's a good show. Anyway, It says it right.
It's a good show.
Right at the ending credits. Yeah. But we're not done yet. It's not the end of the episode.
No.
So back on Pluto.
So Jerry promises after one more rally they'll get back to his science project. But he's like, Jerry and Morty are in this limousine, clearly on the way to some, I guess, a rally. And Jerry, it's clear that it's gotten into Jerry's head, this whole thing. Morty insists that Pluto isn't a planet and it's shrinking because of corporations, but Jerry is just a pompous douche who only cares about being the center of attention. And because he's getting all this attention right now, he doesn't care about anything else. And he's like, yeah, let's go along with this, you know? And then at the fancy gathering, Morty tries to expose all the lies. He's like, hey, Dad, what do you think about this article that says that this and this and that? I didn't write the whole thing, but like essentially trying to call him out about the Plutonians, like the mines and the things shrinking. And Jerry uses the typical politician tactic of redirecting the question back to Morty and changing the subject completely, and at the same time humiliating Morty in the process, because he's like, well, what do you think about that time that you like pooped your pants? Or I don't know what he says, something like that.
And he threw his poopy undies out the window and they're just hanging off of a bush.
Right.
And he finds them while he's trimming the hedges.
Correct.
And what am I supposed to think? That the poop bunny left him? No, yeah, logic doesn't work against people who lack the moral and emotional complexity to feel shame. Somehow Jerry is one of them. And this is something the show goes into in much more depth later. There's one episode in particular I'm thinking of. I can't think of the title of it, but it's the one where they go on a roller coaster and he tries to kill Rick.
Yeah.
Where they prove that Jerry is not a pathetic little loser. He's actually a predator, and I really like that take on it. Because Jerry's a douche in his own way. And kind of everybody in this show is a douche in their own way.
In their own way, yeah.
In their own way. I'm not sure about Morty and Summer as I'm saying that, but I'm also just not prepared to go into that discussion right now. I'm just throwing shit off the top of my head. But Jerry, he deflects with whataboutism is what I called it. And it's not even a related thing. It's pure ad hominem fucking argument where he's just attacking the character defaming the character of the person that he's arguing with to make him look less credible in the eyes of people watching. And that's the worst kind of rhetoric. Yeah, just like a politician, like you said.
Yep. So after that, they cut to what?
This was also the part where Jerry says that the one thing that I was trying to think of earlier. So the rich people walk up to him and they're like, "Jerry, say it for us one more time." And he says, "The mnemonic device for remembering the planets. My very eager mother just served us 9 pickles." Yeah. So how's that go?
I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
And Pluto.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I never knew about that mnemonic device until like a few days before actually a few days after I originally took my notes, and I had no idea what the fuck Jerry was talking about when I watched
he was talking about.
And because he says that, and then the rich people are like, "Brilliant! I love it!" And I'm like, "What the fuck is that about?" And then Rex told me about that, completely unrelated. We weren't even talking about the episode, and I was like, "Oh." A couple days later, I came back, and I'm like, "Oh, that's what that was." So funny side story there. I was today years old when I learned the mnemonic device for remembering all 9 planets, or 8.5 anyway.
8.5. Yeah, I am also today years old.
Today years
when
old.
I learned about this. Yeah, we don't have it in Spanish, but it's in Spanish we just say the names like in a rhythmic way, like it's Mercurio, Venus, Tierra, Marte, Júpiter, Saturno, Urano, Neptuno, y Pluto.
Oh, just like the alphabet. Your alphabet is very very rhythmically memorable as well. A, B, C, H, I, J, K. Yeah.
L, M, N. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. See, I can never remember the rest of it. You'll have to reteach me my alphabet.
I will.
Thank you.
Yeah. So cut to Rick looks all around the house, but he can't find anybody. He's like Morty, Beth, Jerry. He's looking. Nobody's home. He's having dinner alone. The butter robot pass a full stick of butter. He's like, "Here's all the butter you're gonna need."
Chucks it into the peas.
Rick,
right into the peas.
Yeah.
Like you don't need butter for peas.
No.
And
Rick asks if they wanna watch a movie, like if the should we watch a movie? Blah, blah, blah. And then the robot goes, "I am not programmed for friendship."
Sad day.
Rick got rejected by the butter
robot. I feel so bad for both of them in this moment.
Right? And then that's when Morty gets home from Pluto and asks Rick to help him with the science project. Rick, I love that he like acts all nonchalant. He's like, well, yeah, whatever. But we can tell that he secretly wanted some human contact in this moment.
Absolutely did. And Morty was the first person that he was looking for. So he's extra happy to see Morty come home. So, and he gives the exact same response that he did at the very beginning of the episode. And I think this gives us a lot of insight to how Rick felt even at the beginning of the episode. He really did want to help Morty with that project. Why do you think he's building sentient robots? He's lonely. It wasn't just because he's lazy and needs it to pass him butter. He's lonely. And I think he does care very much about Morty and Summer and Beth and even in a weird way, Jerry.
Jerry. Yeah.
But he just keeps everyone out of arm's reach. So what's he afraid of? Is he afraid of hurting them, or is he afraid of getting hurt? Is he insecure? If he is insecure, why is he insecure? But I think these are all questions that we just don't have enough information to answer yet, and we're going to get there in good time. I can't answer those questions because of shit that happens later in the series, but I'm trying not to get too far ahead of ourselves. Because we know about the picture of baby Morty, that he couldn't possibly have had baby Morty because he just came back after 20 years. He's been dimension hopping, but we don't know that yet.
Okay. Damn. It's gonna get interesting.
Yeah.
You know what time it is?
I do not know what time it is. It's
time to get another beer.
Hey, I know it's 11:04 p.m. for me. Anyway, get the beer.
Oh, it's 9:04.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my headphones off.
I'm gonna
for a moment because my ears are very hot.
Do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Pee break. Let's go.
Woo! Ow.
Hello. Oh, he needs to put his headphones on.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey.
Where were we?
Welcome back. We were at Cut to Pluto because Jerry's about to receive the highest honor a scientist can receive. Remember?
Oh boy. Yeah, that sounds right. Jerry realizes King Flippy Nips is a lying fraud when he watches him send his own son, Scroopy Noopers, to Plutonimo Bay. Gotta hand it to him with that. All the stupid little Pluto references in modern shit. Anyway, he slips up and he calls Pluto a celestial dwarf instead of a planet. Jerry finally does what's right, and at his award ceremony, he tells them it's not a planet, and they boo and drag him off stage.
Yeah. I love that though. At the ceremony when he's doing his speech, he has a little card. And he just says
Like,
Pluto equals planet.
Like he needed fucking notes. He's been doing the same.
So he doesn't
speech.
forget.
Yeah, because he's stupid. Don't forget. Don't forget that Jerry's stupid.
Don't forget.
Okay. Crisis averted. We almost
forgot.
forgot.
So after I know, and then after he gets booed off, he's like getting dragged off the stage, and he says, I'm an idiot. I love my son."
Which is kind of heartwarming.
Okay,
a little bit. Like, good for him.
Yeah, it's nice.
And
it took him a second to get there, but he got there.
But he got there. He ended up doing the right thing. Yeah. Definitely some redeeming qualities for Jerry. Still an asshole, but
a little bit.
And then we're back at needfulthings.com, and it's spelled with 3s instead of E's now. And after being open for 3 seconds, they get bought by Google. Summer hugs Lucius is his first name, apparently, wondering how much should we make? And he has her escorted out because he's been Zuckerberging people since before Zuckerberg's balls dropped.
Poor Zuckerberg.
He's the devil, biatch.
I'm the devil, biatch. What?
Fucking so stupid. And he starts playing the fiddle, and did you see one of the employees starts dancing like a moron, like fucking doing this shit in the background? It was so dumb. But it's a cartoon, so it's fine.
So
it was really dumb.
Yeah, it's allowed. And then cut to Jerry getting dropped off by the Plutonians. Because he's no longer useful to them.
He's got a black eye. He looks like shit.
Yeah, he looks like shit. But he walks in on Morty sitting on his bed. Oh, that's right. He walks in. He walks in on Morty.
He doesn't knock.
On his bed with no pants. He doesn't knock. He just opens the door, walks in, which still happens to me with my parents right now. And I'm like, you guys don't know if I have my vibrator here. Like, you shouldn't do that.
Right. In fact, they should just assume that you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But whatever. So he walks in on Morty sitting on his bed with no pants and his laptop on his lap. And he's like, Morty, I'm not as smart as your grandpa Rick, but I promise never to make that your problem again.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos for apologizing or trying to apologize.
Pretty good apology. Yeah.
Morty's like, hey, nobody's smarter than Rick, but nobody else is my dad. And you're a genius at that.
That's super sweet.
He's just being really sweet right now.
Mm-hmm. Even though he's probably got...
It's like a hard on.
Even though he's sitting there with some porn playing and he's probably got a boner underneath there, he's still taking a moment to be really nice to his dad. And you could take that the wrong way, but I choose not to because that's weird. We got to give them a couple of seasons before they run out of material and start making jokes about fucking your dad because honestly, I think they peaked too soon.
At least.
What?
That we have to give them a couple seasons at least to get to there.
Right. I was going to say, I think they peaked maybe a little bit too soon with their family being all like, oh, we love each other and we're getting along and we're saying nice things to each other. Because then later they realized, well, shit, now how are we going to have any conflict on this show? So it feels like we take a few steps back from where they're at right now. But it's a fun moment. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah. Jerry suggests that they finish the 8-planet project. Morty tells him he'll just bring the butter robot and get an A. He has like the butter robot in a little Ziploc bag.
In a bag. I don't know why you had to put it in a bag, but okay.
And he's just like, "Oh, you're a genius at being my dad. Like, quit while you're ahead." Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, wait, do you want to? I feel like you should tell this part.
I was going to say Morty warns against Jerry opening a 14-year-old's door without knocking. I mean, like I've got a computer in here. You know, one of these times you're gonna see something. Yeah, okay, I get it. And he just keeps going.
I understand.
No,
yeah,
like,
he tries to leave, and Morty is like, I mean, you're really playing with fire here, like you're bursting like that. Like,
yeah, Jerry. And
okay,
to
I
Jerry's
get it.
credit. To Jerry's credit, he gets the hint immediately, but Morty's the idiot this time. He thinks he needs to keep harping on it until Jerry's finally like, okay, I get it, good night. And it's kind of, it's extra funny because it proves that Morty is definitely Jerry's son. Or maybe it doesn't prove it, but it's definitely good evidence towards, you know?
Yeah. And I like it because like usually in these kind of situations they show the teenager that is like almost caught being mortified by being almost caught, but Morty in this moment he's like taking the power back and he's like, hey man, I'm here about to masturbate. Like, you're my dad. Do you want to see that or not? Like, don't fucking knock on my door, bro. Like, what the fuck? And I feel related to that sentiment. Like, I wish I could tell that to my parents.
I heard a similar story one time. A barista was telling me about one time. It's kind of funny how the story came up. This barista accidentally walked into the bathroom while I was sitting on the shitter. And and so then I'm sitting at the counter later drinking my coffee, and he's like, so one time he tells me a story about one time he was sitting on the shitter. Or wait, no. This other time he walked in on another dude sitting on the shitter. And and he's just so mortified that he just stands there staring for a moment. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And the guy's like, be right with you, killer. It's all right. And he kind of does what Morty does, and he takes control of the situation. It's like, how do you have the power in the situation when you're the one on the toilet?
Yeah.
So that's what that makes me think of. Yeah. That's kind of impressive. I was like, I hope one day I can be that confident. Yeah.
I hope too. Like, I don't think I will be, but I hope. I will hope forever. That's what I strive to.
So now we're in the living room.
Beer or liquids.
Oh, no, don't do that. And Summer supposes that maybe Mr. Needful actually, in a twisted way, gave her and Rick both what they really wanted because she was jealous of Rick always hanging out with Morty, and maybe Rick didn't know how much he valued Summer's approval. Nah. They both agree that's bullshit and not satisfying, but they're in denial because really it's funny because that's what's actually going on here. And hey, speaking of satisfaction, Rick has a great idea to do steroids and crash Mr. Needful's seminar and beat the shit out of him. Because sometimes what you really need is for someone else to pay a horrible price.
And I love this whole ending and that whole bit and everything. Before we continue, though, I want to say that at the beginning of this scene, when Summer walks in and Rick is watching TV, I think he's watching Ball Fondlers, bro.
It was definitely Ball Fondlers, yeah.
Yes, right?
It's their new favorite show. Why wouldn't they always watch Ball Fondlers?
Of course. Call back to the interdimensional TV episode.
And it was just last episode. It feels like forever ago, doesn't it?
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That's true. That's true.
So credits.
So yeah.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
And then we get our tag scene of Rick and Summer are using their newfound ass kickery powers of being hepped up on steroids to beat up a variety of people, including but not limited to neo-Nazis, schoolyard bullies, those fuckers that protest funerals with God hates fags signs, and fuckfaces who abuse their pets.
Yes.
That's
and all of them, I agree.
Yep.
All of the people that they beat up, I would be right there with them.
Right there with you.
Yes.
That's the moral of this episode.
They deserve that.
Punch a Nazi.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Punch a Nazi in the face.
Yep.
Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You can beat the shit out of a homophobic Christian. Like, whatever.
Absolutely.
That's where it comes to.
You know, they might file assault charges. You know, just don't give them that opportunity. Wear a mask. No. I don't know. Just rest assured you're doing the right. Wow, we could really get in trouble for this right now.
Oh, no. We don't condone violence.
We do not condone violence except punch. I'm going to stop at punching Nazis. You know, that's a thing. People,
okay.
There's a lot of punching Nazis going on. Shit, I think my internet is having issues right now.
Oh, no.
That's so poor timing.
I mean,
it's just the Zoom call is frozen. Is it frozen?
It'll fix itself. Just have faith.
Is it frozen on your end?
Fine. It's fine for me. It's not frozen.
Weird. Okay, yeah, maybe it'll fix itself.
Just believe.
Yeah. We'll have the audio anyway.
Yeah.
So, luckily, since we're taking a little extra long to record this episode, I don't have too much to go into. Oh, wait. First, it's a good show. Yeah.
We did it. Good job.
Woo. So.
End of the episode.
Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot to go into here, but I think the only real fan theory that I could find that was about this episode specifically, which unfortunately can't really back itself up on only episodes 1 through 9. You have to look forward into the series to find real evidence to support and theorize about this, but... So, the microscope that Rick takes from Mr. Needful in the beginning. And I had this thought as I was watching the episode. I was like, there's definitely a universe. There's probably many or infinite universes where Rick tried using that microscope. And it made him retarded. Can you think of any instances of Rick where he's very, very stupid?
Oh my God, no!
Rick who eats poop. Maybe.
No!
The one who befriends Jerry.
Maybe.
I want to say next episode.
Jerry's BFF.
Or maybe it's a couple more episodes. Maybe it's a while down the line. I forget. But yeah, Jerry's BFF. I want to say Doofus Rick, but I think there's a difference between Doofus Rick and that one, and I can't quite pin down which one's which. Damn. But I'm talking about the one who eats poop, not the Morty from the Citadel episode who just looks like a full-grown Rick. I think that one is Doofus Rick. But there's a whole Reddit article here that kind of they argue about that a little bit. No. Doofus Rick was still able to create instant brownies from chemicals. Okay, so there's Slow Rick and Doofus Rick. Slow Rick is the one that eats poop.
Okay.
Doofus Rick is from the Citadel episode where there's a class full of Mortys, a bunch of different types of Mortys, and they spoof The Stand, and Harry Potter and a bunch of other things. There's a lizard Morty. So at the end of the thread, somebody says, no, Doofus Rick can't use the devil microscope because Doofus says that he doesn't have a daughter, so he has no Summer and Morty of his own, so he couldn't visit the shop because he would need to have a Summer to have taken him to the shop in the first place. But
Okay.
I still think there's a chance. It's like, so that's not what happened to that Rick. But at the very least, I think we can all agree that there has to be a universe or a dimension where Rick C-137, the Rick that we know as C-137, or Prime Rick anyway, used that microscope. And I think we need to add it to a list of things that we're looking for as we move on. Can we figure out which Rick that is?
Use the microscope.
Because it can't be Dumb Rick and it can't be Slow Rick.
Okay.
Those have been debunked, but he's got to be out there. And it's entirely possible that he used the microscope, and so he never made it to the multiverse. He never got a. But at that point, he would have had a portal gun already. I don't know. But that's just something fun to think about. What if he used the microscope instead of inventing the scanner? And
yeah.
My
Now I want to look out for that Rick.
My Zoom call.
Used it.
My Zoom call is still frozen. I'm gonna.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna stop it and restart it real quick.
Do it. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome back.
Yay! We're back.
Yeah. Huh. So that's really annoying. I think. Oh, son of a bitch.
What?
I broke it again.
Not again.
No, it's fine. I got it. I got it. It's all right.
Okay.
And okay.
Okay.
But I had to unplug my camera and plug it back in. That's really annoying. It's a brand new, very expensive camera. There's no reason it should just not work ever. So that's really annoying.
So,
But anyway, Doofus Rick, Slow Rick, whatever. Somebody used the microscope at some point in time. I guarantee it.
okay.
Other things that were relevant. Let's see here. Makes you. All the Ricks that we know about are jaded assholes or cowards. No, that's too much to get into. Ray Bradbury already kind of talked about who he is. The Monkey's Paw, we went over that. Something wicked this way comes. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna leave it nice and light and fluffy on the fan theories for this one, because that's about all I had. All the other extra content we already kind of covered with references throughout the talking about the episode.
Yeah. We did it. We did that.
Cool. Good times.
Okay.
And yeah, as always, if there's anything that anybody wants to hear us discuss, if there's a fan theory you would like to hear about, we're always willing to backtrack and talk about a theory that's relevant to a previous episode, as long as we're not jumping too far ahead of ourselves and having to talk about a lot of future episodes that are going to jumble up where we're currently at, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're coming back and we're filming and we're doing this podcast while I think season 7 is about to drop.
It's literally they're about to drop the trailer, I think, in a few days, if not tomorrow. I don't remember if it's tomorrow or like Monday or something like that. But yeah, we're about to get into season 7 of Rick and Morty. In real life, but here in the podcast we're about to finish season 1.
Yeah,
How many more episodes do we have?
I think we got only one more episode. I think there's 10 episodes per season.
One more. Okay, one more. There we go.
Yep.
Exciting.
And it's a doozy. It's a doozy, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Oh yeah. it's where some shit really starts to happen. I'm pretty sure it's the first Citadel episode.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if there's nothing else.
Yeah, if there's nothing else, tell us about the Patreon, or what are we talking about, Patreon?
Yeah, if anybody out there wants to support us financially, all you'd really have to do is get on your fancy little interweb machine and head on over to www.patreon.com/WubbaLubbaPodPod. You can check out all of our episodes and find all of our links to anything everywhere if you just go to www.WubbaLubbaPod.com. That's the more functional one. We also are. You can technically find us at Wubba Lubba PodPod, but it's not as functional. You have to be very specific about the www, and I'm working on fixing that. So for now, just go to www.WubbaLubbaPod. If that doesn't work, try PodPod. It's got our link tree on there. You can find our merch store. There's a link to that, which if you just want the raw dog link so you can type it in if you're old school like that, that's at www.beerwithbuffy.com/shop. That's our sister podcast. Because I do that show with my friend Rex, and it's a good show. Don't forget,
it is a good show.
It is a good show. Don't forget to review us on iTunes. That's the single number one way that you can help us out. It boosts our numbers and helps us be seen. What else we got?
We have social media: Instagram, Wubba Lubba PodPod, Twitter, Wubba Lubba Pod, I think.
Wubba PodPod for Twitter.
Oh, Wubba PodPod. TikTok, we're Wubba Lubba PodPod. We're Wubba Lubba PodPod almost everywhere.
Yeah.
And
had to do a few short weird ones for other places. Twitter, whatever. It's X now. Nobody uses it anymore anyway, so who cares? Podbean is our main host. If you want the episode download straight from the horse's mouth, we're on Podbean at Wubba Lubba PodPod. All your favorite podcast platforms. We're on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, whatever. You can email us at wubbalubapodpod at gmail.com. Our Patreon.
We have merch, don't we?
We do have merch. We have hoodies, T-shirts, mugs, the basic stuff. I might add some more stuff later if there's a demand for it. We can add like water bottles and purses and wallets. I've always really wanted to do bottle openers, but that's actually very difficult to do. And we would have to make a rather large investment and then personally mail them out. So it's not really feasible. But it's like $1,000 to invest in a box full of like 400 bottle openers. But it'd be really cool, and I'm hoping to be able to afford to do that someday.
Let's manifest it. And I am working on some new designs for the merch because right now it's basically our logo, which is pretty cool. I also worked on that. But I am working on some new designs, which brings me to the Patreon. We have patreon.com/wubbalubapodpod, where you can support us financially directly. And we do have some tiers. We have 3 tiers available. We have tier number 1 for $1 a month. You get to be a Morty. You get early access to video versions of the podcast episode, a live stream reminder, and then we also have the $3 per month. You would be a Rick, and you get previous stuff plus 10% off the merch store. And our third tier, it's the Rickest Ricks for $5 a month. You get everything that we mentioned before, but you also get 15% off the merch, and you get Rick and Morty's smartphone background created by me.
Ooh.
Yay! So fun.
It's very nice. So all kinds of cool stuff and ways to follow us. Tell your friends about us. As always, we got to give a big shout out to Benjamin Alexander for all of our opening, closing, and transitional music because it is badass.
It's the best.
Or badass in Josh speak. Or outside of Josh speak. Anyway, hey, this has been Wubba Lubba PodPod. I'm Josh.
I'm Alex. Goodbye.
Have a good night.
See you next time.
Yeah. Okay, have a good time.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. Stopping the stream now.
So, okay.
Unless you wanted to say something else. You got a stinger?
No.
No stingers.
No, I don't know what to say. I got this microscope that makes me see special things. But also,
I call bullshit.
I can't do math anymore.
I call bullshit. I'm stopping the stream. No.
Okay.
All right. Okay, bye for real this time.
Okay.